The Arushi Talwar murder case, now the CBI has moved the Supreme Court challenging the High Court's acquittal of the Talwar family. That's Nupur and Rajesh Talwar, the parents of Arushi Talwar. Well, those are the big developments in this case that we're bringing to you right here on this broadcast. And, we've seen after the acquittal of the Talwar parents, in fact, in the murder of their daughter, we are seeing, in fact, the CBI move the Supreme Court to challenge that judgment. So, which means they'll be pressing for the conviction of Rajesh and Nupur Talwar in the murder of their daughter Arushi Talwar and the domestic help as well, who was also killed on that fateful night. Let me go across now to Meenakshi, who's joining us on the phone line. Meenakshi, big developments in this case. The CBI now moving the Supreme Court to challenge the order.
Absolutely, Viren, and this is a case which has always generated so much curiosity, debate and interest. And even after the High Court, the Allahabad High Court had pronounced or acquitted the Talwars, it had public opinion split in the middle while the trial court's submissions were rejected by the Honorable High Court. But remember,
we seem to have lost the line there with Meenakshi, but those are the big developments we're in fact bringing to you. The CBI now moving the Supreme Court to try and overturn the High Court's judgment which acquitted Nupur and Rajesh Talwar, the parents of Arushi Talwar in this case, because questions are still being asked about who in fact it was that actually killed Arushi. If the parents didn't do it, then who did it? That question yet to be answered. The investigation continuing, but the CBI now in fact moving the Supreme Court to seek a revision of that order. Let's go across now to Meenakshi, who's back on the phone line. Meenakshi, continue from where you left off.
Viren, as we were bringing to our viewers as to how split public opinion is on this particular case, and we will see the debate generate again in the Supreme Court, and ultimately it will be the word of the Supreme Court that will reign final, because the apex court of this country has the final say or word on any issue. And interestingly, CBI has moved with caution on this one, but sure enough, they have gone ahead and challenged the clean chit which was given to Nupur Talwar and Rajesh Talwar in the killing of Arushi Talwar. Of course, for now, we have one conviction, which is the trial court conviction of the Talwars, and one acquittal where they were given a clean chit. And High Court, being the superior court, was the last word till now, Viren. But clearly, CBI dissatisfied with the findings of the High Court. They find that there are many factors in the entire case which have been ignored by the High Court, and therefore they want the Supreme Court to be the final arbiter on this one.
Also, Meenakshi, justice in this case clearly having not been done, because you still don't know with the acquittal of Rajesh and Nupur Talwar who is actually responsible for the death of Arushi Talwar and for the death of the domestic help.
Well, Viren, if one were to borrow from the trial court's judgment, it is a clear case of circumstantial evidence where the trial court has borrowed heavily on the last seen theory and the chain of events which complete in a cogent way. But as the CBI's appeal in the Supreme Court is concerned, the CBI is relying on certain facts. For instance, the CBI is saying that the High Court, the Allahabad High Court, while giving a clean chit to the Talwars, has not taken into account the witnesses that the CBI has relied on, where in fact those witnesses the CBI has not relied on have been taken into account by the High Court. So several lacunas have emerged. The 161 statements of the witnesses is what the CBI is contesting before the Supreme Court, besides other lacuna in law which the CBI says are so apparent that the High Court could not have ignored, but it has ignored, and therefore this is an erroneous judgment which needs to be corrected by the Supreme Court.
Absolutely. Meenakshi Bhanja there reporting that big story for us. The CBI now moving the Supreme Court against the acquittal of Rajesh and Nupur Talwar in this case. Thanks, Meenakshi, for joining us.